Okay, this is the Fryette PS-100 power station. I had a red plating behavior with this Fryette. I saw the same problem reported on the Fryette forum of these 6550s red plating, and in this area here, there's like a vent, and there's two power tubes visible through this vent here. So there's 6550s. There's one on the left, you can kind of make it out, and one on the right. And this one was getting way hotter. And in the end, long story short, there's a fan right here, and so it's cooling this one more than it's cooling that one. So that's normal behavior. When I purchased this PS-100, this left tube went through a red plating kind of behavior period. So it would start turning red. I would use it, first couple times I turn on. I didn't really understand what was going on, but eventually I realized that this left tube was getting super hot, and eventually it just failed. And I had just purchased it, and I was kind of nervous, and so I bought the extended warranty from Guitar Center to get it repaired, and I didn't know if it was completely burned up inside. I didn't want to take the screws out. This is the guitar amp input. So you put your Marshall head, speaker output, you plug it in here. So this appears to come to near these yellow and brown wires, which route over here to this fan area. So this must be the reactive load that is cooled, because your Marshall could be putting on 100 watts into this thing, and it's supposed to be rated for 150 watts. This is the phase inverter. Actually, it's a single triode phase inverter. They use just one of the triodes. It is actually a preamp stage and a single triode phase inverter at one of those cathode and plate follower type differential circuits, which are extra cool, and they drive these 6550s. I haven't looked at the phase inverter output, but I bet it's just fine. And these two are the 6550 Sovtek WE tubes, and they apparently have a max plate dissipation of 42 watts each. There's a bias adjustment down here. When I tested the existing setting, it was around 40 milliamps, which is just right for these tubes with a plate voltage of 680 volts. There's no way it could be 100 watts though. It's advertised as 100 watts, and in the spec, and the power dissipation would be limited to 42 watts each. 80 watts. That's the max power capability of these 6550s, and I think you could buy some hot, and maybe get 80 watts out of it, but I don't really need it personally, and I mostly got this for the reactive load with the 150 watt power handling capability. I'm set up to test the bias current of the Power Station 100 Fryette unit. So the tube on the left is it's running hotter than this one on the right. Okay, that was the original symptom. And so I had sent this to Asurion. Originally, I bought it from Guitar Center. It died immediately with a red plating of that same left power tube. I got it back, and of course, I'm sure what they did was they changed the tubes out. And, I'm sure it worked fine after that, after the red plated, probably bad tube was taken out. But then I got it back, and I ran it a little bit, but I haven't kind of set it aside for a while, but now I'm back, and that left tube is still running hot. So I brought the bias down. It was 40 milliamps on the left tube, and the other tube is 34, so it was 38 or something like that. So 40 and 38 are a little hot. They say on the stamp down there, you can see the trimmer pot says 35 milliamps, and I did confirm on the Fryette website that 35 milliamps is correct, and the 6550s are biased. They're 35 watt tubes. This thing's advertised as 100 watts, but they're really, I think you can run them pretty hard, actually, and I think that's Fryette's point. And this power transformer's marked 100, maybe it's 100 watts.